Today I want to read to you from my first novel, Willard Manor. Willard Manor is a fictional house built in 1840 by John Willard, and he and his wife Mary lived in it until they passed away. They had four children: Jonathan, Thomas, who went into the Civil War, Benjamin, and then their daughter Sarah. Now Benjamin is living in the house with his wife Esther and their two children. It's 1882. Benjamin ran into the house, a big grin on his face. "Esther, come see what I bought you from that new store in town." Esther dried her hands on her long cotton apron. With her skirt brushing the ground, she hurried outside to Benjamin's buggy. "Land sakes, what on earth is that thing you've got there?" "It's an ice box, Esther. Now we can keep food from spoiling." He unloaded the box and carried it into the kitchen. "You see this section here?" Esther nodded. "We put a block of ice in here and it keeps everything on these shelves nice and cold. We won't have to have milk delivery so often because now our milk and butter will stay cold. And those apple pies of yours won't go bad, not that they ever stay around long enough to go bad." "Well, ain't that something? What will they think of next? What's this tray down here for?" Benjamin laughed. "That's something for David and Ruth to do. Empty the water that collects from the melting ice. It's too bad Mother never got to see something as great as this. You know, this new contraption might be just the thing we need to update this old house." "What are you going on about, Esther?" "These walls, they've got the same paint on them that your father put on more'n 40 years ago. I'm tired of tulips. Why don't we go down to the store and get some rolls of wallpaper and dress up the kitchen? And while we're at it, we can do the sitting room and dining room too. I've been admiring Doris and Jonathan's walls, and this new ice box gives us a reason to fix up the place." "If that's what you want to do, that's fine with me," said Benjamin. "We can go into town Saturday and pick out something you like. Just don't go too crazy. We don't have unlimited funds, you know." For the dining room, Esther chose a burgundy and white striped pattern. In the living room, they applied a green flocked wallpaper with a fern design. Esther adored the way the rooms looked when the light from the oil lamps flickered and cast shadows against the newly papered walls. Running her hand over the textured paper gave her a warm feeling of home. Above the fireplace, they hung a Baroque mirror that had been in Esther's family for years. On the mantel, they arranged photos of John and Mary, next to those of Esther's parents. On the opposite wall, Benjamin carefully hung a photograph of Thomas in his army uniform. The red velvet sofa and matching chair sported white antimacassars on the arms and back that showed off Esther's skill with a crochet hook. Esther was now quite pleased with her house. The new wallpaper added a warm touch of elegance to the rooms. Friday night, Jonathan and Doris arrived for their weekly game of whist or hearts. Doris looked around at the remodeling. "My, Esther, you've done a fine job here. It looks very homey." Benjamin glanced at his brother and laughed. "Sure, Esther gets all the credit. All I did was buy the supplies, lug them home, and climb up and down ladders for 2 days." Putting his arm around Esther, he said, "Isn't that right, old girl?" "Be gone with you," she shot back. Benjamin and Esther were relaxing by the fire. He was smoking a cigar and reading the latest Saturday Evening Post, and she was mending shirts from a sewing pile next to her. They could hear the crickets singing in concert outdoors. A loud knock on the front door interrupted the calm. Benjamin opened the door to find a large police officer on the porch, his huge hand grasping 16-year-old David's collar. David studied the floor as a red tint crept up his face. "What the Sam Hill is going on?" roared Benjamin. Esther quickly joined Benjamin at the door. She glared at David. "Son, what have you done now?" And I will stop there. You can get the book on in a digital edition on gumroad.com. You can go to my website lindalogelhemby.substack.com. And if you have any comments or questions, I would love to hear them. So that's it for now. Have a good rest of the week.